In this demo, we're going to look at how to draw a human from the 3/4 view that's in between the profile and the front-facing view. And we're going to focus on more naturalistic proportions. So let's get started.
So the very first thing we want to do is start with, yes, that's right, our friend, the oval. So here we go, here's our oval. Is it ugly? Yes. Will it work? Yes. So this is right in between the front view and the profile view. So on the profile view, we had to add an oval. But for this, we're going to trim it down some. We're just going to add maybe like a circle, kind of like a big circle maybe. Okay, so we're still leaving some room for the brain. But now we've turned in such an angle that it is foreshortened some. Once again, just like I stated in the other videos, your eyes do not change locations up and down just because you turn your head. So there's still going to be, your eyes are still going to be halfway in the middle. So let me try to guess where that would be, somewhere right in here. Measure it out and see if that's right. A little high. Although I say it probably would have worked. It isn't that far off. All right, that's much more like it. Now, let's go ahead and lay that line in. Halfway between here and here will be our nose. So I'm gonna say something like that. Pretty close. Maybe even a little lower. All right. Now, halfway between the nose and the chin is where the mouth goes. So half, half, and half. I'm going to guess somewhere right in there. All right. Wonderful. You can do this oval thing. You can also start another way. You can start with your circle. And then you can come in and add this little bump down here at the bottom. That's quite all right too. If you do the oval, just know that you are going to have to kind of, sculpt this thing out a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to have to make it look more like a jaw. You can just start with a circle and then add this like kind of angular shape down here on the bottom. You can break it down to these simple shapes. You could even come in with a square, like a square if you wanted to. I think that would even work. But we're basically just starting with these rough shapes. I started with an oval, and a circle. But you can also start with a circle, and then this little shape down here added on, the chin added onto it. And essentially all we're doing right now is, so we're just making a simplified skull. So one of the first things we want to do, just like in the profile view, we want to add in that brow bone where we're going to have these eyes and a cheekbone coming out, right? So you're going to have the eye socket. We're putting in the eye socket now. Another thing we want to think about is that our eyes are going to be more like the front view eyes, but they're going to be foreshortened a bit. So this is going to get really interesting. So one of the things I recommend, believe it or not, is coming in and putting in your nose first. And depending on how much this head's turned is how much this nose is going to come over here. It may even overlap this cheek. It may just touch this line. A little more difficult nose to draw, but still much, much easier than the front view nose, I would say. And now that we have this, and we have the eye socket, we can kind of tell where the eyes go, right? So what I'm going to do, I want to go ahead and add in my eyeball. We're back down to this very common shape. Remember to leave highlights. Remember to block part of the structure here with the eyelid, right? We're going to insinuate an eyelid. And something new though is we're actually going to block part of this eyeball here with the bridge of the nose. Okay, so that's going to make this nose look more 3D, and that's going to be more naturalistic. All right. Foreshortened eyebrow. And so this one is going to be what? Remember, further things go away from us, the larger they're gonna, the closer they're gonna appear, right? And so that's gonna work for the eye as well. So our eye is gonna be about an eye width apart, but over here now, you know, this eye is gonna be smaller than this one, so we're just gonna have to split the difference a little, right? All right. So something I didn't talk a whole lot about on our other videos, or on my other videos here. I did mention it, I think, at some point in the lesson, but not in the videos. Because I realized there are going to be a few people that watch this that are not in my class. Okay. And something I didn't mention in my other videos is that humans have a little tear duct here. All right. So it's not just this straight little eye. You can also kind of put in some little shading here on the corners of the eyeball to make it look more round. Okay, so there we go. Now we are off to the next stage. Our mouth is going to rest. Our mouth is going to rest on our line here. I may have made that a little high. We'll come back and adjust it. It's okay. I make mistakes too. So depending on how much the face is turned is going to depend on the shape of this mouth. It may be just like the eyes, where it's just the same exact shape as the mouth before, but it's, you know, it's foreshortened, where this side is going to be shorter than this side, right? Because this side's further away. But you may be turned so much that your lips actually change shapes. That's what I'm going to try to portray right here. Is it accurate? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I remember what I was doing. Absent-minded professor here. Okay, so let's lower that lip just a little, just a little. All right, now we've got some lips. They're riding on that line, just like we talked about. We've already got our chin. We sculpted that in right away. We already put in our eye socket. I think that's one of the first steps once you locate these lines here. Another thing you can do to really help you out, so you can have a seeker line that you could draw here to establish the center of the face before you get started. That way you kind of know where to put all this stuff. But usually what I do is I just kind of establish the center of the face with the nose. But either way, it's perfectly all right. What we're going to do, though, we're going to come over here and put our, if you notice, if you feel back behind your jaw, you'll notice that your ear kind of starts around your jaw, around that location. Remember, we're going to have an ear that goes somewhere between the eyebrow there and the nose. So it's going to fill that space in pretty well. So we'll just kind of suggest some little ear lines there. I may even got too dark with that one. And now we'll put in some hair once again. Once again. Hair above and below that line. So we're going to tuck her hair behind her ears. Once again, you'll notice I'm using my contour lines to make the head look rounder. All right, and then we'll have our part over here on this side of the head. Come in and put our neck in here, somewhere around in here maybe. And then we'll have some hair hanging down, right, on this side. So this side she's not going to have it. This side she's not going to have it. She's not going to have it tucked behind the ear. All right, so let's darken this up a second. See if we can't kind of clean some of this up. You'd be erasing a lot of this. I'm going to leave it so you can see the traces of what I've done.
Alright, so there we go. Now you can change up the features however the person might have them. According to the person that you're drawing, they might have a more prominent cheek right here. They might have a very prominent lip. They might have a more distinguished chin, who knows? But you just change it to the person that you're drawing. Always remember that these guidelines are great, but you're drawing an individual. Alright, that's it for this demo. I hope this helps. Until next time.